some work, specifically finishing up some scripts that I was working on. I'm about to film them for some shorts. Earlier, I had some other stuff to do, but we don't gotta keep it that transparent. Check out this view, first of all. I love this time of day. Never gets old, no matter how much you look at it. This time of day is definitely the best. But let me show you. We've been talking a lot about how to go viral on TikTok. So this is basically like how I've been doing my scripts. I write them out beforehand. I know exactly what I'm gonna say before I film them. And these links are just for media, which I'm gonna send to the editor later. So basically what I'm gonna do now is, now that the scripts are written, this took me about maybe 1 hour, a little bit over an hour to write everything. Now I'm gonna film them, send over the film and the content to my editor. He's gonna get it edited, and then we'll get that up on the TikTok. And something I wanted to show you guys, which I thought was pretty unique, something kind of interesting, just more further proof that the scripting really does matter. If you guys remember in How to Go Viral, that video where I talked about where we dissected the TikTok that got 110,000 views, well, I posted a very similar one with like almost the same exact structure with only different images and slightly different wording. And it also is doing very well despite it being a topic that I already talked about. So as you can see here, it's only like 21 hours and it's already at 5,500 views, which is more than the average views, which are like 1,000 to 2,000. So there's clearly like a lot to do with the script writing, and I'm starting to figure it out. I'm kind of trying to show you guys my journey with that, see what works, what doesn't work. So this way, you guys could learn from some of my mistakes, my trials and errors. But that's in another video if you want to check out more details of how I dissected exactly what makes the TikToks pop, what makes short form content pop. But let's get started with the work for today, and then we got some other fun stuff on the menu. You need to check your sneaker boxes ASAP for Travis tickets so you can claim your prize. Just today, it was confirmed that the prize is actually gonna be for sneakers, and you get to pick your size too. Basically, hidden inside the sneaker boxes are brown Travis tickets, and they come with some instructions. They tell you, so I actually just finished up filming those shorts. I did about 7 shorts. It's gonna be edited and posted up throughout the week. Now, I decided to experiment with something a little bit different because I've been watching a lot of tutorials and tips and tricks, how to get short form content to blow up. I've been doing a lot of studying. One thing a lot of people were pointing out is it's important to try to change scenery, and I figured, well, that's perfect for me. I got this great view. Figured I would try to record them around this time with sunset, beautiful natural light. So what I decided to do was I did some recording like here, showing this view with this kind of lighting. And then throughout the video, I gradually transitioned it to show this background, which hopefully increases engagement a little bit. Again, I'm not sure how big of a difference this is gonna make. I don't think you could quantify it really, but I'm gonna keep experimenting, trying these new things, and hopefully I could pass along any insights to you guys, because remember, my goal with this channel is just to give you an honest look into what it's like to run a business, and that includes all these little micro things with marketing too, because marketing is one of the most important things. So I know we've been talking a lot about marketing in the last couple of videos. We'll get into other stuff like management too, but one thing at a time, As for plans for today, we do have some options. First of all, gotta hit the gym. After I finish up some work, I still got some management work that I have to take care of. After that, though, I do have a friend coming over who had some interest in just talking about business ideas and money in general and investing. And I think he might want to start something of his own. And I think he needs to just find his niche. And he doesn't exactly know what direction he wants to take it in. So maybe depending on if he's okay with having some of the discussion be public, I'll film some of it and share, what it's like to help someone try to find their niche. Because if you remember from the last video we talked about, you really just have to try to find what your niche is, because everybody is using the same business structure. All the young people getting rich, we're not making concrete companies. We're not even making Facebook. This new generation, it's all about the 4-step sales funnel, which I explained in my last video. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. So the most important thing for you is going to have to be finding your particular niche. So that's what I'm going to try to help him with today, because again, I just love helping people, especially my friends. So gonna have some cigars, talk a little business. And then after that, I have some options for who I might decide to link up with to make some car content with, give you guys some extra entertainment there. We got the G82 today. The Ferrari is in Long Island. So I do need to get it washed. It's looking really dirty because it's been snowing. As you guys could see, there's quite a lot of snow on the ground. And it's very cold out too. So we'll see who we decide to link up with tonight. And yeah, let's get going.
Hey yo, Future. We turn up all year round.
I think it's that time, man.
The movie.
I think it's that time we let these fuck niggas know what we do.
I got homies, they just waiting for a bun. I got ice and I got Christian Louboutins. They gon' clone a nigga swag and they gon' run. We get money, fuck it up, just for fun. We been working with the A1 from day one. I stay hustling like ain't already won. Moving truck, loads of midget by the ton. I know niggas just like me, where you case getting to the money, had to buy it back with a bunch of money. I just ate and I'm still hungry. I been throwing it, I'm still throwing it. These niggas fake, they really farmers. I stay draping, I stay touring. I'm A1 LBG, my plug and my bitch far. Gotta free my niggas like every time they tapped in on the phone line. We made a meal in no time, they still hate, we still shine. You fascinated by my life, I turned up, you sound bite. My ad libs be too hype, got white gold, got new ice.
But I was talking about how every single business inside of this modern economy, this attention economy, how every single kid is getting rich. It's not by making a concrete company. It's not by making the next Facebook. That was the last generation. Now it's all about this same structure. It comes down to a 4-step sales funnel. Basically, at the top of the sales funnel, you have attention, and then you get to building trust, then giving value, and then ways to sell your product. That 4-step sales funnel is how every single kid our age and up into the 30s too, this is how every entrepreneur is becoming a millionaire. Not billionaire. That was the last generation that was making social medias, but our place where our best opportunity is with social media, it's to become millionaires with this sales funnel. We got to know our strength as this generation. And so what does that sales funnel come down to? At the top of it with the attention, that's going to be a lot of short form content, stuff that goes viral, like your TikTok, Instagram Reels, the short form content. You don't really get a lot of conversions from there. You won't really have that many people buying your product from those alone. But the next part of the sales funnel, building trust, the long form content, like a YouTube channel where you have 10-minute videos, they get way less views, but they're way more valuable views because these people are then beginning to gain your trust because you're giving them value in the YouTube video a little bit more than what was in the short. You're building their trust through there. They're seeing you're a human being who wants to help them. You're not just some random guy on TikTok. And then the next part of the sales funnel, giving value, a good example for this is if you could make a freemium type product, like a free Discord group or whatever. And then in that free Discord group, you show them how much value you could deliver to them for free. And once they see how much value you could deliver for free, they start imagining, I could only imagine how much value this guy could deliver if I buy his paid product. And then at the final part of the sales funnel, you have all the strategies that a typical salesman will teach you, like email marketing, SMS marketing, all these ways to try to sell the product, because at this point, you've already got their attention, you've gained their trust, and you've showed them how you could deliver value. Now, it's very easy to convert those people. The biggest thing throughout all this, and whether you're gonna be successful in this modern environment or not, you have to genuinely want to help people in whatever niche you're in. You have to desire to want to help people. Of course, we all want to make money. Like, I want to make money. I never try to hide that. But also, like, when I was first starting my YouTube channel for sneakers, yes, I wanted to obviously make income off of that, but what I found most joy in was when people would comment like, yo, you helped me cop these sneakers. I made $300 in profit off of this. With your jig for the Adidas website, like teaching me how cookies work, I was able to make $400 in profit or get my favorite sneaker. I genuinely find so much joy in helping people. And if you also have that joy in helping people, you're gonna do very well in this modern environment. So don't think about how can you make the most amount of money. Think about how can you help people the most amount. And the way you have to do that, you have to find your niche. It's all about your particular niche. You have your own identity. I have my identity. I specialized in reselling and sneakers, and I helped people make money through that avenue, but it might not be making money. It might be fitness, for example. There's some kid who went to our high school, maybe his name was Pete Lopez or something. I recently saw on Instagram, like, he had started a fitness company. He's making content through there. And that made me really happy because this is somebody who gets it. This is somebody who understands how to make money in the modern environment. And I'm starting to see more people from our high school, because I see them on Instagram, like here and there, some of them are starting to realize they're waking up to how to make money in this modern environment. He's one of them, but there's other people too. They all have their own niche. Yeah. You just have to look to yourself. You can't fabricate who you are. You can't just look for the best opportunity out there. You have to think, what are my strengths? Where am I very skilled and knowledgeable in? And that's how you could help people the most. So a lot of people always ask me, like, do you think you need passion to succeed in business? I think passion can be very helpful because if you like something, you'll tend to be good at it. Like, you'll tend to put a lot more time into it. But at the same time, if you're disciplined enough to get good at something without liking it, that's fine too. I don't think you need passion. Like, the concrete billionaire isn't passionate about concrete. Yes, and you'd be so surprised how much income can be made off of a small, very niche audience. He gave an example of this one lady who had a very, very specific niche. It was specific to just people in Australia and a very niche hobby. He didn't want to specify. And she was getting only a couple of hundred views or whatever within that niche, but because the algorithm recognized what videos to send it to, like what audience to send those videos to, it was still getting her a lot of value. So those people, even though the market wasn't that big, because it's proportional, there's not much competition, even though the market's small, she was able to make a lot of money. 6 figures in income just from a couple hundred views to like low 1,000 views in our videos because she was selling a product in a market that had very low competition. You don't need to go for something with the biggest market because it's all proportional. Like, if your niche has like a massive market, that's great. But at the same time, it's gonna have massive saturated competition too. A lot of times when people are looking for the right niche, they dismiss all these like hyper niche things because they're like, oh, there's not a big enough audience for it. But that's not true. It's not true because it's all proportional. Even if it's hyper niche, what that also means is the competition is gonna be much smaller. And so you could still make a whole career out of it, even if you're only getting 100 views, a couple thousand views from that very hyper niche topic, because it's all proportional. Like sports betting, for example, massive market, but ultra saturated competition. Same with like investing or trading, yeah. Like, they're great, you know, they have great big markets, but at the same time, there's also very high competition. So whenever people are asking, like, how can I find a niche? I always preface by saying, don't be afraid of going into something that's like hyper specific, because all these like sub niches I think are like the next generation of what the most profitable businesses are going to be, because there's so much competition in these massive niches now, like stock investing, stock trading. There's so much competition, whereas the ratio might actually be more beneficial if you go into something that's like ultra specific, because even though the market's smaller, the competition is so low. You might even find something with little to no competition. I remember when I was first starting back in 2017 to 2018, there were like no other reseller YouTubers. There were sneaker collector YouTubers, but there were very, very few resellers because everyone hated resellers. I was one of the pioneers of it. So even though it was a very niche thing, I was able to make such a massive career out of it because at my beginning, there was such low competition. Now it's obviously changed. A lot of people have picked up on it, but don't be afraid. If you have like a very niche interest, chances are with billions of people in the world, there's at least 100,000 other people out there willing to buy your product and watch your content.
I'd much rather go into the most precise niche market.
Yeah.
Where I can get a consistent 1,000 people for an X amount of time.
Yes.
Rather than go into a super saturated market.
Yep. It's all the ratio.
Like, yeah, because competition is one of the biggest fucking things out there. Like competition,
Exactly.
like, oh, why would I listen to you when I could go listen to these top?
Exactly.
So like, okay, I'm gonna get more specific and find the value on this. You ever hear them talk about this? No.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Exactly. So whenever someone's asking me for help trying to find their niche, the way I always preface is saying, don't be afraid of the hyper-specific interests you have. If you have any, like, I don't know all of your interests and all of your hobbies or whatever. Obviously, I know you love baseball. I know you love working out. I don't know everything about you, though. For all I know, you might have some hyper-specific niche. Like, you might go to some subreddit for, like, a certain card game or something, and you know it inside out. That might be your best avenue for making money. If you're like super into this one very specific card game and you know how to give advice on it, you know it inside out, you know how to the market on eBay for these types of items, you could offer so much value and there's probably very low competition for that. So I don't know exactly what all of your interests are, but if you have something like weird or niche, that might be your best opportunity to make a whole career out of. I'll give you some examples of like, if I were to have not gone down the reselling route, I'll give you some examples of niche things that I could have made content about and could have made products for. So when I was in 6th grade, before I was able to legally work, this was even before I sold candy from my locker in 7th grade, the way I used to make money, I was gifted a metal detector by my friend Ryan in elementary school, and we would go digging for coins in the ground. And it'd be nice to find like a quarter here and there or whatever, but sometimes you find jewelry. Sometimes you find very rare silver coins. That's a niche in itself. One, metal detecting. I used to binge watch so many metal detecting videos, you have no idea. I was giving people views, and these views that these YouTube creators for just metal detecting would get, they'd get like 80,000 to 200,000 views. And you think like, oh, there's not that many metal detectors out there. But the thing is, there's not many content creators for metal detectors, so there's only so many people to watch. That's what this ratio is about. So metal detecting, that could have been one thing that I decided to make YouTube videos on. I could have just been videoing like me metal detecting, searching for things, giving advice. What's the review on this Garrett Ace 250 metal detector? Or is this the best pinpointer to buy? Or another niche I could have done then is coin collecting, because I used to collect coins. I could have made videos on going to the bank, buying $500 worth of half dollars, sifting through them, trying to find the 1965 to 1970 40% silver half dollars and the pre-65 90% half dollars. Like, I had all this info, all this unique knowledge, and it's such like a niche thing that I wouldn't talk to you guys about this, like me and my friends, like I wouldn't talk to you guys about these niche things, but I know there's a lot of people out there who would be interested in this kind of stuff. And I could have, if I wanted to, say I didn't go down the reselling route, I could have made a whole career out of coin collecting videos, could have made a whole career out of metal detecting. All these niche things, the more specific, maybe the better, because there's less competition. Another thing, I used to love like trying to maintain fish. I don't know if I ever told you, but when I was in like 4th and 5th grade, I used to sell guppies because 2 of my fish had mated and they had a bunch of babies. So I would then sell the guppies, make a little bit of money off that. But I also enjoyed it. I was passionate about keeping my fish tank well maintained. I learned a lot about how to maintain proper pH in the fish tank, what gravel to buy, what food to feed them. and I had a lot of joy in this, and I had a lot of passion, I had a lot of knowledge in it. I could have made a whole YouTube channel dedicated to this. And then the ways you make income from that, you could pick up so many sponsorships for like specific fish tank gravel or specific filters. Start telling the audience, this is the best filter to buy, use my code, and boom, you're making 20% off of each purchase. It doesn't even have to be your own product for this modern structure to work for you. You could be promoting other people's products too and getting income off of that, like sponsorships. I have so many niche interests that I could have made careers out of, and I bet you do too. You just have to look inside, like, what are these things that I could have made content about? So like, for example, for fish tanks or whatever, if I wanted to make a career out of that, the first thing I would do, I would go on YouTube and I'd look up, like how to maintain a fish tank. And I would filter by channels, and I would look at all the top channels, see how many subscribers they have, see what views they're getting, and then I'd also go to their videos, look in the description of the videos, and I'd look at the links in there. See, are these people having success selling their own products? Are there like promo codes in there? Filter by channels, look at the top couple channels or whatever, start investigating how many average views they get, what are their most popular videos, and look inside their description boxes and see like what products are they selling or what products are they promoting, and try to reverse engineer how much money they're potentially making. And with this, you will realize there's so many things that you're knowledgeable in that you could make whole careers out of. This is the modern environment, bro. This is how everyone's making money. You find a niche and you just use this same structure. This is how everyone's getting rich in this modern day. You just have to find your niche.
The amount of shit that people that you wish you knew, like, before going into it. Like, I love talking to people about going into college sports, and like,
oh yeah, that's a good one.
There's so much shit that people don't tell you, and then there's also so much shit that like even major sports companies, that all these old head dudes will never fucking understand. They will never understand unless it comes directly from the source of like people being in it. Especially now. Now's also a really good time to do it, especially in college sports, because of NIL's like the new fucking big thing. But there's so much advice about it that people don't really talk about. Between I wish I could, or at least I want to, and I think I could. The amount of information there and help there, I think is endless.
So endless. This is your area of expertise. You could offer so much value here. So just imagine this. Let's say hypothetically you were to experiment with this niche for 8 months to 10 months or whatever. That's the timeline I would suggest to experiment with a niche to see if you can make some progress. Personally, for me, I didn't make any progress within my niche. What's up, Tony? How you doing? I didn't make any. Yeah, this is Josh, my friend. This is Tony.
That's me.
So I didn't have any success inside of my niche for 6 months. I was getting little to no views inside of my niche for 6 months. And then finally, I started seeing some progress, and it was all exponential from there. So the timeline I usually recommend for experimenting with your niche is around 8 to 10 months or so. And if you don't have success, it's not wasted time. Remember what I told you about building scar tissue? So a lot of people are scared to start things because they're afraid of all what's the ROI going to be on the time you invest. But here's the thing, even if it fails, even if you don't have any success in that niche, you're going to pick up so many skills along the way, how to edit videos, how to properly write scripts, exactly, how to create a platform.
You can't put an ROI on experience.
Right, and then you could apply all those skills you learned into a new niche. I believe it's okay to quote unquote give up, because you're not giving up the war. Sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war. Sometimes you have to be okay to give up a niche. Let's say the niche doesn't go well after 8 to 10 months, there's no progress. You say, okay, I'm gonna pivot, maybe change it up slightly or do a completely different niche, but you're gonna take all the skills and all the knowledge you've gained from those 8 to 10 months working in that niche now onto a different niche. And that progress there should be so much faster. If that's the right niche for the right time and the right market, you're gonna have much faster progress because you already know how to edit videos, you already know how to build a community, you already know how to properly gain trust, you already know how to properly write scripts, all these unique skills that you can't just gain from reading books and watching videos. You have to actively do the things to build this scar tissue.
Yeah, you have to do it. You have to fail. You know, like, especially if you want to make it big. You can't. Obviously, you can attest to it. No success comes without X amount of failure.
Absolutely.
My belly days for today.
Good, bro. You park your car in here, or?
Yeah.
Nice. Man, it's so dope being able to see all these other cars. Always motivating. Man, like, I love my cars, obviously, but one day, I want a collection.
Like, just this is your car.
Yeah, imagine you get to pick your cars like you pick your shoes.
Yeah, bro.
Solid.
So, like, it's literally, I think it's practically going to cost me, like,
This thing's so dirty. It's not bad.
Get that, and the fucking the rest is pretty much paid for.
They kiss, the cookie polluted the trenches. They come hit your noodle for tensions. Shooter, hood, attention. Ice, cleanse it. Louis my carpet, don't gotta start it. I'm back on that bullshit. She bougie bossy. The top I done lost it.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to trouble. I really hate the trip, but I